DJ Academics responding to Charlamagne the God. Like I said, man, they've been having a little beef going back and forth. And now DJ Academics is going to break down his side of the story because it seemed to be heating up, man. Charlamagne the God been giving him little warnings, but for some reason, Academics is taking it personal, making it seem like Charlamagne is behind this when Charlamagne just trying to help him. But, you know, last time Charlamagne gave him a warning and said, hey, man, something going on. But DJ Academics just want to play victim. So let's see what he got to say about this.
He provided what he thought was like proof that I was getting paid by politicians. I literally showed the proof. I showed my actual like PayPal receipts. The payment that he was talking about, which he was accurate that on those payments, he just wasn't accurate who it was from. It was from Rumble. Now I'm gonna be honest with you, it was a little bit off-putting. Let me ask you a question. If I told you what you were doing with your bank account, like, oh nah, nigga, I know you took out $60 yesterday and I blah, 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 you'd probably be like, well, how the fuck this? No. So if you're wondering like, yo, Act, why do you care? If someone was all up in your business, I don't know how, but even if they're all up in your business, they're then wrong and they're lying to people, you'll be mad. Okay, so that happens. I get a call from Charlamagne. Charlamagne says, yo, Act, I just want to give you a heads up. Some information has came about and it's not making things look too good. I said, what? What are you talking about? Now, it wasn't necessarily about me, but it was particularly focused on someone who's associated with me, Grand Wizard Chat Nigga. If you don't know who that is, that's someone who he's a internet figure, AI too. But, you know, he does kind of run some of my pages and whatever the case is. And the information that came about from Charlamagne was that, hey, there might be some funny shit going on with these people who you're associated with. And I'm like, what do you mean?
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete...
Now, I'm going to play a lot of what Charlamagne said today or yesterday, whatever it was, but I want to make it very clear that I don't know if anyone else is playing games. I am not. And I have nothing to hide. That's why I keep speaking. When people claim they're hitting me on the low, I go and repeat it publicly. You don't have to hit me on the low no more. Not only Charlamagne, but everybody, because there's nothing to hide, in my opinion. So the idea was like, oh, some shit, whatever. And I want to tell you before I even played where I'm at with it, because I'm thoroughly confused. So I got hit up with, hey, Ack, you've done this for us, which I have done this for Charlamagne, Joe Budden, many of my media partners. Like, hey, so-and-so is trying to plant this or trying to get me to do this. I'm not going to do it. I just want to give you the heads up. I respect you. Charlamagne tells me this info. He doesn't. I'm like, okay, but who's doing this? Because I said I heard about this before. I heard there was private investigators that are investigating people that I'm associated with. Who are these people? Or who's doing this? He said, I don't know. I said, but how don't you know if they did an investigation, came up with a report, and they sent it to you or to one of your affiliates? How could you not know? Whatever, fine. So I've been there with it. When I spoke to Charlamagne the first time, he told me it was politics. And I was like, that was even more confusing. I'm not into politics like that. If I have a political view, y'all should know it's just honestly me. It's not getting paid, right? So I'm like, politics? It's like, yeah. Now, my whole understanding, I'm being very, well, people are going to say something, so I don't give a fuck what y'all think. But this whole thing I could have kept private. I'm putting it to the public because I don't like sneaky shit. I approach this saying, listen, I get it. Y'all might be upset at Academics TV for posting certain things that seemingly is defending Drake. Well, everybody who's in my orbit, most chat niggas fuck with Drake. People who work with Academics TV, they do talk to Drake. They like Drake. Drake's their favorite, like Drake's my favorite. So if you put out something where you're disrespecting him or whatever, they might have a counter to it, but it's not because they're getting paid. It's because they like it's like Drake fans finally have a platform to respond about you disrespecting their favorite artists. That's it. So that's where I was with this whole thing. So I thought, and I want to, I guess I'm speaking before y'all hear the clip. The first time I ever heard of this, I went to Kendrick's show. Anthony Saleh comes over. He says, we got a private investigator on one of your friends, one of the guys who's running Academics TV. And I said, what? He says, yeah, this person is just going so far. In his defense of Drake, he's putting out info about Whitney, about his, I don't know if he has a wife. I don't even know. Some of the things he was telling me, and maybe he thought I was lying. I didn't even know because he looked at me directly. We're sitting right next to each other. Kendrick's performing. I think he just did Euphoria. That's when it's happening. Like live, nigga. Because nigga, I was streaming the whole thing. They realized I'm in the building. They circled the whole building trying to find me. They find me. Our security had like a powwow out front. Well, that's with Dave Free. But before then, Saleh came over. He was a little bit more cooler. And then we sat in my suite and we talked. And he said, I don't, Drake posted me. Drake had posted Anthony Saleh. I was like, I don't know, whatever. Now, some people might be like, why are you saying this? I'm saying this because the first time I've ever heard anything that Charlamagne even said to me, is because of a Drake and Kendrick issue. It's not this. It's turned into like some other shit now. It's turned into Rock Nation, and it's weird now. That's why I keep asking when I'm getting more and more information. So who's behind this? So I'm talking to this guy, Anthony Saleh. He says to me, he says, well, because I tell him, just like I told Meek's crew, my favorite rapper is Drake. I didn't start this because of the battle. My favorite rapper's been Drake for as long as you know me. It just is what it is. Now, they made it clear to me. They said, it's nothing you've said that we're really upset about. We're upset about certain things that are going too far. I said, what do you mean? I said, well, there's a page associated with you. Well, they actually just called my page. Well, it's your page. And your page is putting up stuff on our families. That's what Anthony Saleh said. And I said, well, you know, my page is a page that loves Drake. I'm sorry to tell you, Academics TV, when I first even thought of the page, we have pro-Drake people with the page. So as the battle became divisive, people running my page, of course, they're going to go super pro-Drake. They're like, nah, but it's going too far. It shouldn't even get there. And I even said to Anthony, I said, Anthony, you guys are calling this guy a pedophile. Why do you think that his fans or people who like him might not try to bring it to other places where they're trying to investigate this or they're trying to claim that? And he didn't get that part, but that was the reality. So cool. He then volunteers this information. He says, it's that page, man. And I said, listen, you know what? The people on that page, they do listen to me. I said, like, yo, now that we're talking, because I agreed with him. I don't believe throughout the Drake and Kendrick battle, I don't believe that nobody should be posting anything about Drake's son. He doesn't have daughters. He doesn't have any other kids. He has one child. You shouldn't post anything about Drake's kid. You shouldn't lie about kids that don't exist. You should keep Whitney out of it. You should keep Kendrick's kids out of it, other than what the rapper said. Now, Drake himself, and this is the convo that I had later with the Dave Free nigga who was foaming in the mouth. I said, you can't blame me for I think the kids might be Dave Free. That's in a fucking rap that Drake dissed y'all with. Like, why are y'all, that's odd. So his idea was, yo, I think pages are just randomly posting stuff about Whitney and posting stuff about his woman or something. And I was just like, okay, that I don't agree with. Okay. He then volunteers to me. He says, well, you got to realize it's gotten to that point where we don't know what to do. I said, what do you mean? He said, well, we know who's the person who's posting on your page. I said, what? He says, yes, Academics TV, we know who's posting on it. He says, I'm here having a conversation with you, hoping you could change something. Anthony Saleh, when he listens to this, he knows I'm not a liar because I don't have to lie. He says, I hope you could change something. And I said, what do you mean? He says, well, we've paid for a private investigator to go look for this guy in another country. We know his name. We know how he looks. We know everything about him. It's nothing for us to put money to get him handled. That's what they tell me. So they told me they've identified the person who's running my page. And they said, we've gotten investigators and it's nothing to have this person handled. And I said, listen, calm it down. I said, I'm not too sure what you guys are talking about. But I said, usually with things like this, I get it. It's called Academics TV. I get it. This is where we could bridge a gap of, listen, yes, it's pro-Drake, right? Yes, it's pro-Drake. But just like how there's fans who are bringing up things that are personal about Drake that Drake has to not take offense to, you're going to have fans of Drake that probably bring up things about maybe Kendrick or his people or whatever family that not cool as well. I said, maybe what we could take out of this conversation is that we could come to a place of medium that if you feel like there's something, especially coming from pages that I have influences over, if you could tell me, why they posting this woman or whatever? I'd be like, oh shit, I'll make sure I handle that because we don't want to escalate it. But I want to tell you the first time I've heard of it. Cool. So I'm watching the show. It's all good. I see a mad cow, rabies infested, Dave Free come through after I see some guy with like a blue hat looking like he was like acting like he was looking for me. They pull up.
What if you could make a song using only your voice? Let's start with the drums. I'm gonna hit drums and click cover. Yes. This is good. Okay, perfect. I feel like the song needs a rhythm guitar. Dun, 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 dun. Changing it to guitar. I'm going to type in rhythm guitar. Okay, I like this track. I'm going to copy it to the main. All right, now we're adding some bass. Bum 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 bum. Okay, let's click on bass, and I'm going to just click cover. Yes, I like this. Okay, good. All right, adding a synth for the chorus. Pulsing ambient synth. Ooh, that's awesome. Okay, I'm gonna copy the synth to the main track. Let's add a shaker. I'm going to click on percussion, and here I'm just typing in shaker and clicking cover. Let's add it to the main track. Now let's put it all together, and I'm gonna sing.
Absolutely unexpected. Maybe that's the best part. Yeah, I know that we connected, not just music, but our hearts. I know based on my track record, I tend to pick the worst. I know I deserve a good guy. Maybe you could be the first. I know we all grow from our past mistakes, 'cause now you're a risk that I'm willing to take. You're making the hours fly by. You're making me smile so wide. Now I've never felt more like myself than when you charm me with your spell. What if I don't have to hide? What if it was you all this time? And every lonely melody I kept was waiting for your voice in my duet. I'll admit it's pretty scary.
Stop calling me. You sound like a psycho, I swear to God.
I'm calling you to let you know that we're gonna pay off every loan you have. Like, it's literally a good thing.
I understand, but I'm not interested.
What's that say?
This is for real.
Your debt is completely wiped off.
I'm so blessed. Best choice in the world.
Here we go. Doreen?
Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
It's Jeremy with AmeriCorps. How are you?
Good. How are
Can you come out?
Oh, yeah.
How's it going?
Good.
First of all,
Shocked.
look at this. What's that say?
This is for real.
Your debt is completely wiped off.
Oh my God.
Crazy, right?
Yes. Yes, it's crazy.
I bet you thought we were a scam at first, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Really?
Yeah, I did. And then I saw Mario Lopez.
Yep.
On
That's my guy.
advertisement. And so I checked you out. My score has rocketed to 7.
Let's go! All right, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Your score's rocketed up, right?
Yes. And the lady that answered and dealt with me was so kind. And she worked to where I had 2 payments a month.
Yep.
And $110 2 times.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Let's see what AmeriCorps got. Ooh. Okay, A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau.
And over 30,000 5-star reviews on Trustpilot, Best Company, and Google.
Okay, that's legit right there.
Oh, and did you see? Their program is federally regulated.
Look here, they have no upfront fees.
I know, that's crazy. It says they lower total debt owed and monthly payments by as much as half. How does it work?
Well, it looks like this video explains it all. Hey, Lynette, I saw you on Oprah where you were talking about money issues. Do you remember that?
Hey, Mauro, yes, that was a great episode. And I think it really helped a lot of people.
I'm sure it did. What are you working on right now?
I'm actually working on a special project that's been used by over 500,000 Americans to become debt-free faster.
How do people know if they qualify for relief?
They just need to go to AmeriCorps' website and fill out a 2-minute form, which does not impact their credit score. Then an AmeriCorps debt consultant will call them with a personalized savings estimate.
I had $55,264 in debt. Had some life changes that caused me to overuse credit cards and then jump from personal loan to personal loan. Trying to get out of debt, it just got worse. I've settled 6 out of my 7 accounts now. I should have number 7 settled in a few weeks. Overall, I've saved just over 40% of my total debt. I would definitely recommend AmeriCorps.
I was a little over $16,000 in debt. I had 13 creditors. I was just struggling to make my payments, just the monthly minimum payment. I have 11 settled accounts and 2 are still in negotiation, and I'm stress-free. I cannot say enough good things about AmeriCorps. I'm getting myself out of debt.
I was about $80,000 in credit card debt. I figured, let me call and see what the program is about. That was the best decision I've ever made. The one-time monthly payment is way less than I was paying for my credit cards. It's like working with family. If I have a question, a concern, a problem, I just pick up the phone and call. Working with AmeriCorps, I honestly say, has been one of the best decisions I've ever made.
The person who's our sweet host, they're confused. They're looking at these guys. It's their concert. Remember, I went to their concert. They ain't coming to me. They're looking at these guys. They have these all-access passes on. But, of course, it's like, well, they paid for the suite. Like, you know, still we get us all access, but doesn't mean you just run through everybody's suite. My security is dealing with it. They're like, yo, okay, yo, blah, blah, blah. Dave Free, I get to see him at some point. He says, yo, do you want to, come talk to me. At first, I was like, listen, you could come talk to me in the suite. Leave all them little Crip blood niggas outside. You and me could talk in the suite. I don't care. He insists that we talk outside, and actually the person for the suite didn't want it. They just came with so much energy. I said, fine, I'll go out the suite and talk to you. Security kind of have a face-off. My security's looking at them like, what's up, what we gonna do? Their security's like, what's up, what we gonna do? Obviously, nobody's security would do anything unless I say something or Dave Free says something. And we get into this conversation. It's a little bit tense, but it's also a real conversation. Dave Free basically tells me a few things. Dave Free is emotional, by the way. He tells me that he has all these issues about things and the battle going too far. So what do you mean the battle is going too far? Now, keep in mind, Kendrick has a hit song. I went to go see him perform a hit song. The battle, right? So this battle that we're talking about, Kendrick calls Drake a pedophile. Dave Free is approaching me saying, this is gone too far. Why is it going too far? He's saying that, yo, people are playing with people's kids. Yo, they talking about, yo, his kids is mine. And I have a conversation with Dave Free because of that. Now, if anybody knew at the time, my Academics TV was also, you know, I think they were clowning SZA too. I think he's the manager of SZA. No, that's Punch. We didn't see Punch. I thought he was going to at least at some point mention SZA to me. He never did. Also, why is SZA important? Because back on Everyday Struggle, when I first ever met SZA and SZA got mad at me, the original story, Dave Free is the person who said, I get what you're saying. Yo, she's sensitive. Could you apologize to her, or at least like retract that you don't hate her on the platform that you did it on? Could you at least say on stream you don't hate her? And I agreed, because I was like, wait, she took my stream and thought that I hated her? Whatever. So I thought he was going to talk about some SZA stuff. He didn't. In fact, his whole thing was about people, like, I guess the internet crowd was starting to look into that maybe Kendrick's kids wasn't his. And I guess that there was some hurt behind it, because now the family has to deal with that. Well,
having debilitating student loan debt can take a toll on someone's life.
Then I saw, why refi? My interest rate before was about 14% and now it's 4%.
If you're out there suffering from student loan debt, why refi can help.
Take out.
And he's like, but he realized, he says, he says, my real problem is with Drake. And I actually asked him, this is a fact. I said, well, if you have a problem with Drake, why don't you pull up on him? And there was like nothing of substance I heard. It was just kind of like, well, then they start asking me if Drake sent me. Then they were like, why do you like Drake? How much is he paying you? And when I told him nothing, I felt like he was asking me for a price. I was just like, what? But he did mention SZA. So let's get back to that. And when he mentioned SZA, he says, yo, them captions at SZA, man, y'all talking too crazy about, I don't know if they call it baby girl or something. I said, listen, man, Academics TV is a pro Drake. They fuck with Drake, okay? And Drake also sees it. So I said, Drake in the past has hit us up and told us, yo, me and SZA, could you not like going crazy at her? Like, you know, like, could I try to bridge a gap? Could I try to solve a problem? I said, these days, he doesn't seem to give a fuck, because he hasn't told anybody with the page that whatever. Dave Free then says to me, is Drake running your page? Huh? What are you talking about? I explained to him just like that. I said, listen, we rock with Drake. Drake don't run the page. But, you know, more than y'all reaching out, because we don't care about y'all, to be honest. But if Drake was like, yo, bro, like, I told him the story of how, what's that song called? Slimy Wow came about. Drake called me one morning. SZA was supposedly in the studio for 2 days crying over me roasting her. And Drake said, bro, I'm trying to cut these songs. So, which, by the way, for all Drake fans, without me, you don't get Rich Baby Daddy. You don't get Slime Yard. Apparently, Drake was in the studio with her, and all she was doing was crying over me. Drake calls me. Drake said, bro, I can't tell you what to do. But me thinking I know you, I don't think you care that much. But this chick is distraught. She can't stop crying. She can't do music. Me thinking I'm standing in the way of my favorite rapper doing some music. I said, yeah, I'll bring the level down. Yo, SZA, it ain't no issue. You're cool, girl. Do your thing. Da da da. I went on stream and I said that. She cuts the songs to Drake. It's not like Drake called me like, oh, thank you, bro. Like, it's just, I'm like, wait. First of all, it was satisfaction alone to me when I knew she was crying and bawling her eyes out. Once Drake called me, because Whack 100 called me the day before, and then Drake called me, I'm like, okay. Anyway. After the Dave Free thing, Drake hits me. And Drake says, hey, Ak. Yo, did them like TDE niggas have you shook? Literally. He honestly said that. I said, Drake, what the fuck are you talking about? He says, yo, SZA told me, which that's what I was so lost with everything. Because I didn't know SZA was talking to Drake at this time. He said, SZA told me that you told Dave Free that I write the captions for Academics TV, which, by the way, Drake has never done. I said, what? Now, here's what happened. Rabies infested, foamed out mouth Dave Free took what me and his convo was, ran back to the back and told SZA that Drake is running my page. She hits Drake, and Drake is like, what? Wait, where'd you hear this from? She says, Ak just told us that. You see how stupid and childish this is, chat? I also tell Drake, and I tell everyone, I'm like, they recorded the whole interaction. There's a nigga on the side that recorded. If I said it, they would have put out the video. There is no video because it never happened. Okay, why did I say that? Because this is the first time we've heard about two particular things that I care about. Private investigators investigating or really harassing and doxing people that work with me. And this idea that Drake runs my page. Two ideas. Okay. So what happens next? Well, I think what happened is Iceman is getting rolled out. Academics TV is super pro Drake, like we've always been super pro Drake, when everybody's kicking his back and then hoping that, he just goes away or dies. Academics TV is super pro Drake. What happens then? Well, you would have unscrupulous individuals that would come out with a clear hate campaign. Now, Charlamagne is one of them. Now, here's my interpretation. Charlamagne ain't never liked Drake. I don't think that was some paid shit. He just never liked Drake. Go back to before I got popping, he never liked Drake. Joe Budden, he never liked Drake neither. Drake fucked one of his girls. He never liked Drake. Well, he stopped liking Drake. Then you get the Elliot Wilsons and these other guys, but they're not that relevant to this story. So what I took from everything was that when they would criticize Drake while he's doing a rollout, and they were either clowned or the hypocrisy was shown, that, oh, look, Charlamagne said this here, but what about this? Or Joe said this here, and what about this? Elliot Wilson said this here, but what about this? Academics TV did an amazing job at doing that. You know what I took away from that? Hey, y'all know how it works these days when it comes to people in fandom. Like, yo, y'all are attacking the most popular rapper and one of the pages that rock with him the most. They're just showing that maybe your words should not be the end all be all because you're a hypocrite. That's it. That's it. Now, I want to be very clear. At this time, none of these things are mentioning anything, I want to say just below the belt when it comes to Charlamagne. It's just kind of showing that maybe this guy's not being fair. Now, I thought that's where it was, and that's where I left it. So we fast forward, and I get the call from Charlamagne. And I thought the call was going to be like, man, Academics TV really likes Drake. And I literally told him in the call, I said, bro, these are people that have came from my audience. We all love Drake. Drake is our guy. Just like how Jay-Z used to be those people's guys, Drake is our guy. So the people defending him, using the page, Drake is just our guy. That's it. Drake isn't paying for it. None of that. Drake is just our guy. That's just what it is. But Charlamagne threw me for a loop because he mentioned something. He said politics. And I said, what? I thought it was asinine. I said politics. So I go to Grand Wizard and I said, Grand Wizard, bro, remember you said people were coming to your house? Remember we were like, oh, no, this is definitely, we were trying to figure out who it was. I'm like, I'm getting some information from Charlamagne who claims he has the result of people coming to your house, which means he has pictures. He has conversations with other people associated with you that they talk to. Essentially, someone put a private investigator fully on you. But it reminded me of the Kendrick stuff because I heard about private investigators there. But all of this is me thinking, oh, they're upset at Grand Wizard being a supporter of Drake. And what's my official response? The same way Academics TV could be pro-Drake, there's a bunch of other platforms that's anti-Drake. So I'm not going to sit here and apologize for that. Drake's our nigga, we fuck with him. It's not paid, it's just, that's our nigga.
Whoa. What's that? I just built a budgeting app in Base 44.
Guys, Nina just built an app.
Impossible. Nina can't code. Interesting. Can it generate reports?
It can now.
Nice. So you're saying we can all build apps now?
Yeah.
I'm on lunch. I gotta make a call.
I'll be in my
office.
Just built an inventory tracker.
Protein calculator. Book sharing app.
A workflow manager that
Tracks who still owes for the group lunch.
Trash duty schedule. Since no one seems to care.
just built a
I just created a goal tracking system.
We built the same thing, didn't we?
Yep.
Can this thing manage content?
Is the SOC 2 compliant?
I want to animate this graph.
Create a party planner.
Profesor de español.
An inter-office dating app.
For dogs. For office dogs. You know what I mean?
We hired a big media agency last year to handle all of our meta ads. I spent well over 6 figures on their fee and it didn't work out. And obviously my first instinct was Upwork to find us a freelancer before because I have been working with Upwork for literally 6 years. If you're not familiar, Upwork is a platform where you can hire freelancers all over the world for a range of different things from marketing to operations to creative work, all without committing to a full-time hire. There are over 125 categories, 10,000 advanced skill sets. So you're not just hiring a marketer, you're hiring someone who does exactly what you need. And then what I really like is being able to see real work history, reviews, and past results before making your hire. I literally just found a media buyer about 2 months ago. He's been working with us and it has been seamless. And for me, it was a reminder, even 6 years into running this business, that scaling is not always about spending more money or doing something that feels flashy and big. It's just about making the right hires. And you can do that with Upwork.
So, okay, that was supposed to be the thing. So Charlamagne says there's politics. So I'm not going to lie. I asked my guys, I said, are y'all taking money for political endeavors? Maybe I wouldn't know. Maybe I wouldn't know. Ironically, the same timing comes with Jeremy. He says the same word in his Charlamagne. Politics. Saying we're political funded. I know what I've done and I know what I haven't. So I make my plea and I said, well, I got 100,000 for you, brother. Show me that I'm being politically funded to put out whatever. The boy came on my Rumble payments. Everybody moved on like I wasn't right. So now I'm even more confused because Charlamagne is my guy. I've seen real hit pieces about it happen on Charlamagne. They came to me to say, you're the next up. This is how you cut the neck of the king. That's what they came to me with. I don't want to be number one by snaking a nigga. I want to be number one by outworking a nigga. And I've always liked Charlamagne. I've always looked up to him. So when they came to me with that, asked Charlamagne, not only did I show him the info, I gave him the info, I sent him, I went to the email, told him the email address where I got it from. I never communicated with the people trying to plot against him. I never tried to halfway plot, none of that. Hey, this is what I got. Please just take it. You know, it's no good. I say that to Joe. I said that to Charlamagne. I said, this info here, I know is bad. It's of bad faith. It has no place on my platform. It has no place. This is where I got it from. Does that sound familiar to you? Does this mean anything to you? You don't have to tell me. But I can't use it to try to get your spot. I don't work like that. I did that for both men who I consider peers. So when Charlamagne brings the info to me, I said, well, I'm a little confused because I'm not in politics. I haven't taken political money. I'm not getting paid by right wing or even left wing to promote nothing. So I'm kind of at a loss for words because the things we're seeing isn't even directed at me. It's directed at people associated with me. What's going on? And all I get is a warning. Just be careful. Yo, how much do you trust this guy? Oh, this guy is cooperating. How do people have this info on me or on? And when I mean info on me, like they said, oh, we have, it would be the Rumble thing, right? But like, we have a payment to Livingston Allen. Huh? Like, if I told you somebody has your social security number and you're like, who? And I show you proof that they do have your social security. You said, bro, who has it? Who sent this to you? And I just said, y'all know. What would you think?